Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. For today we will actually be doing a very requested video, which is basically just my everyday makeup. If you see me looking over here, I'm sorry, that's where my mirror is at because I can't really see what I'm doing on the little lens things. I do have a combination between drugstore and high-end products, so I'll just go ahead and let you know everything that I use. The majority is drugstore, so it's really affordable and it gets the job done exactly like it would at a higher price. I am going to start with primer. I can't even pronounce this, but this is what I use and it kind of just mattifies everything and it makes your skin look so good. So you kind of just lift the lid and it comes with this tiny little thing, and a little bit goes a long way. And I am just going to, whoops, that all over my face. Now I use a couple of different primers just because I have very combination type skin. So I have an extremely oily T-zone and I have normal skin like on my cheeks. So I'll use a little bit of different things. I'll show you exactly what it is right now. And then I guess I'll do like my everyday, but if you want like longer lasting makeup, then I'm just gonna go ahead and go in with that. I never do anything crazy for my makeup. I always try to keep it as natural as I possibly can, but like it obviously looks like I did my makeup. I use the Laura Mercier Pure Canvas Primer, and I use this on my cheeks and my cheeks, my chin, and my forehead. I don't really use it on my nose because I use something different for my nose. And because I don't use these things for like my entire face, they tend to last me a very long time. Like I've had this stuff forever. For my nose, which I actually dropped, I use the Porefessional by Benefit because again, I have a very it's actually really annoying how oily my nose, and then like right in between my eyebrows, that part also gets very oily. So I only use this for my nose. And then I just switched up my foundation routine, so I use a couple products for that. I recently got the e.l.f. Halo Glow. Now I like this, but as I keep mentioning, I just have really combination skin, and I feel like if I were to only go in, because I also have the powder, but I don't use this unless I'm using a super matte foundation because I feel like I have to do either one or the other, since this leaves you very glowy, and it actually looks really nice, really natural. I feel like when I go to Hawaii, I'm going to be using this foundation because it's just this super natural glow and it looks really nice. But for me personally, I can't do that because I just end up looking really shiny. So I also go in with a couple of drops of the Airbrush Flawless Foundation by Charlotte Tilbury, and I literally just add a couple, nothing crazy. And now I don't know how much this costs, but my aunt gave me this and I am trying to make this thing last because I know it was pricey. So before I used to just do everything with a beauty blender, but then I started to notice that like my skin just wasn't looking as well as I wanted it to, and then I feel like the sponge was just absorbing way too much makeup. So what I'm doing now is I'm going to like run everything through my face and make sure and make sure that I basically cover everything, and then from there I'll do the beauty blender to kind of just like make it look really just flawless. And then I did forget to mention, I always put chapstick on before I do anything on my face because I hate at the end of it to look like my lips are white, cracked, or dry. So I always do that. And I did already do my skincare. I just basically did moisturizer and eye cream. I keep my skincare very simple because I do have acne prone skin. So if I do too many products or oils or anything like that, I do tend to break out. So I literally I keep my skincare to 2 to 3 products anytime that I switch it up, because if I do more than that, then I kind of just overwhelm my skin a little bit. But as long as we have a moisturized base, then that's all that matters. So it's basically on. Now I'm just gonna blend it out a little bit with a beauty blender, and I did wet it, but I didn't soak it like I usually do, so it's not going to absorb all of the foundation. So I'm just going to blend this out, and then I'll turn this back on. Okay, so now that that is all blended out, and I promise in person, like, this does totally match, but camera looks a little bit different. But I have been like playing around with different shades because ever since winter hit, like, I cannot match any of my foundations. But I feel like, honestly, these 2 products together have made the perfect combination for my skin. And it doesn't, like, there's no separation throughout the day. I only have to touch up once with like powder, but overall it works really, really well for me. For my concealer, I am using this Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Eraser, and I put it on the bridge of my nose, between my eyebrows, like those spots. That's it. Nothing crazy. And that I will just blend out with the beauty blender. And then with my like bronzer and foundation, I use the e.l.f. It's like an e.l.f. concealer. Let me see. This one is in Tan Latte. And I put a little bit because it does go a long way. And this one I blend out with, I don't even know what these brushes are, you guys, but this kind of brush. And then I'll just do a little bit with the brush, and I will blend it out with the beauty blender afterwards. And if you guys want more like of a glowy base, this Elemis Superfood primer works really, really well. It's gonna look a little bit blotchy right now, but I promise you, once you blend it out, it looks really good. And then with the beauty blender, I used to combine the 3 together, and I still do that sometimes, but I tried this recently and I kind of like this routine a little bit better. Okay, so next I'm gonna go in with this e.l.f. blush, and it is in the shade, I have no idea. It's like it looks super pink, and it is kind of pigmented, but it blends really easily. And I only put a little bit because I will be going in with a powder blush afterwards. Now I do a little bit with my fingers to just pat it in there, and then I do the rest with the beauty blender. And now I have been using this powder for literally years, and I never get tired of it. I have been using the Fit Me loose powder, and I use the shade light medium. And I had an It Cosmetics like powder brush, but I lost that a couple of weeks ago, and I'm actually really heartbroken about it. So I've been using this like little kabuki brush. So I am going to put this all over my face. I don't bake or anything, mostly because I don't know how, but I also don't really find it necessary for just everyday makeup. And this is just what works for me. I'm obviously not a makeup professional. I have done several people's makeup though for different events, I will say, and that's been a lot of fun. I've done my friend's baby shower. I did one for my friend's graduation party, another one for her bridal shower, one for she came out in a wedding. I've done a lot of people's makeup, and I do my mom's and my sister's all the time. I just really have a lot of fun with it. I don't know, I guess because also the people that I've done makeup for tend to like a more natural look, and I like a more natural look, so I feel like I'm kind of giving them what I do on myself, basically. It's just been fun. But I really don't know anything about makeup. I just blend until it looks good, basically. Okay, so now that is all over my face. Also, this powder really like does a good job at not making me super oily throughout the day, which I really like. This one, on the other hand, if you have like, I don't know, if you have like no pores and that glowy look goes on you, by all means, this is a great powder. But it makes me look really shiny, and I don't personally like that on me, so I haven't really been using it. So what I do afterwards is I go in and do a powder bronze and a powder blush. So for my bronzer, I've been using this also for a very long time. It's just the NYX matte bronzer, and it is in the shade medium. And I use this like alley-oop little combination. This thing's actually pretty cool. It has like a few different brushes if you were to like go in with all of them. But I really just, and this is actually super pigmented, so you really only need a little bit. I know I don't use all the right brushes or techniques or whatever. This is just what's been working for me. For my blush, I use the Petal Primavera by Milani. And it's a really subtle pink. I really like it. And I love blush, so if I overdo it, there's like no overdoing it for me. And this has like a slight shimmer to it, but nothing crazy. Also, I don't use highlighter. Not a fan of that look on me, so I just skip it. Also, I feel like it tends to just look like this big ol' streak through your face, and I just can't get myself on board with that look. I don't know. Like, it's really hard to find a way to make it like super subtle. Okay, and then ignore this rag. It's super dirty. It's actually really stained, but I am just going to wipe all the makeup off my eyebrows. And as for my eyebrows, I try to keep it as natural as I possibly can. I keep it as close to the actual outline of my eyebrow as possible, because I don't know, I've never been a fan of like overlining or anything like that. I'm pretty okay with the shape that I have. I do just have a couple of small gaps here that I tend to connect, but yeah, nothing super crazy. So let me see if I can bring you guys in a little bit closer. For a little bit I was doing a combination of like an eyebrow pomade and an eyebrow pencil, but my go-to that has never failed me is pencil. So I used the Anastasia brow one time, like the pencil, and it worked really good, but I was not going to pay $20 something every time I ran out, because I do my eyebrows like every day. So then I found the NYX version of it, and it was like 10 something, and every time I would get it at Target, the system would glitch and the Target app would always say it was $2.79, and so they would just price match. So for the longest time I got my pencils for $2.79, but then that got fixed. So recently I switched over to Maybelline, and it's this Express brow, and it works exactly the same. And it, for some reason, I have found that this lasts me like twice as long as the other ones. Like they just didn't put enough of the actual like pencil part in it. So this one is like anywhere from $6.99 to $8.99, I believe. And it works really well for me. I think I use espresso because I was using black for a really long time, and then I found it was a little, my eyebrows are black, but I found that it was getting too dark for me. So I got espresso, and that has been the color that I like. But I, like, if I wanted to do the pomade, I do the Anastasia Dipbrow pomade, and I use the shade dark brown. But I don't think I'll be using this today. So we're just gonna go in with the pencil, and I'm gonna show you exactly how I use it. As close as I got it, I just brush them all down, and literally exactly where it's at is exactly where I'm going. And I do it like super lightly too, nothing crazy dark. Like, do not use a heavy hand on your eyebrows. And then I'll fill in any little gaps that I might see. I hope that's focusing. Alright, so from there, I then brush it all up. And so I've been letting my eyebrows grow for a really long time now because I used to get them threaded and then they never grew back the same because it literally like ripped out the hair follicle. So if you'll notice this little gap right here that's growing, I will connect this to this. Like, I don't care if, like, I need that filled in. So for this part, again, really light hand. I'll do it exactly, ugh, that is not focused. I'll do it exactly as, like, exactly where the end of it goes. I don't do anything over that. And then I'll do my best to connect this right here. Okay, so once I have like the shape that I want, I just go in and fill it all in. And if I feel like I might have done it a little too dark, I just brush through and blend it out. Okay, and that is it. And then for my eyebrow gel, I use this B.F.F Brow Friends Forever, and this thing will literally, I have very curly and coarse eyebrows, and this will keep them in place all day long. But I will say, once you put this on, don't touch your eyebrows because it will flake. Like, this glue is hard, and it works. But if you let this thing get too old or like too used up, or you touch them throughout the day, it's gonna look a little messy. Almost like you have dandruff on your eyebrows, even if you really don't. So I'm just gonna go do the second one and then I'll get back to you. Both eyebrows are done. And remember, your eyebrows don't have to look identical to one another, okay? That'll probably actually look really funny if they are like the exact same shape. Like, they're not meant to look the same. And if you notice, you always have one eyebrow that's different. These little hairs right here tend to go up and these tend to go to the side, and that's just the way they are. I have this one, it has like a sharper kind of curve, and this one is a little bit rounder. My eyebrows are different, and I'm just going to line them exactly the way that their shape is, because if I feel like if I force it to look different, it's gonna look a little funny. As far as eyeshadow goes, I have not used actual eyeshadow in a very long time. Only if I'm going out somewhere like really nice, or if I have to look good for an event or something like that. Other than that, the exact same bronzer that I use for my face is exactly what I'm going to use for my eyelids. So you don't need to spend money on a ton of like eyeshadow palettes if you're trying to keep it natural. I have a ton of like eyeshadow brushes and stuff like that, but I'm going to be honest, like the one thing that I've been using for probably years, and I do like, I've been washing it so much so that they could last me, is this like $3 e.l.f. brush. Like, this thing has worked so well for me for literally anything. And yeah, I have different ones, and every once in a while I'm like, oh, let me try it, but I feel like nothing works the same, like works just like this e.l.f. one. I feel like it just blends everything really nicely. So I just do this for my eyes, and I keep it as natural while still giving me a little bit of dimension and looking like I tried a little bit more, even if I really didn't. You're just gonna blend that out. Okay, and then if you want a little bit extra, I have this one that is also from e.l.f. and it's a little bit of a flatter end, and I'll run this just right at the bottom where my lashes are. And I do actually use highlight on my inner corners. I have this Clinique little palette that I got for Christmas, I don't even know how long ago, and I use this like whitish highlighter. And then for this one I do go in with like a smaller brush, and I just go into the inner corners just to help me look a little bit awake. As far as eyeliner goes, I don't use actual eyeliner, and I've had this, I can't even read what brand this is. I've had this eye pencil for forever, and I used to use black all the time, but I noticed it would make my eyes look like either a lot smaller, or just like, I don't know, it wasn't giving me the shape that I wanted to. And I use liquid eyeliner all the time. Like, I would always do a wing with black, but I started using brown, and I actually really like it a lot more because it gives me the illusion like that I have fuller lashes, but brown blends really nicely. And because it's pencil, if I mess up, I just blend it out with a brush and it's like perfect. So, and I don't start from the, like all the way from the inside. I start from the center out because it makes my eyes look just a little bit bigger. So let me see here. I just stick to like more like brown tones on my face. I don't really do anything crazy. Okay, so I don't know if you can tell, but my eyelashes tend to look fuller when I put mascara on, because there's obviously something there to make it look fuller, but without being so obvious that it's black. And if you mess up, literally just rub it out with your finger or a brush. And it's a pencil, so as long as it's not like permanent, it's going to blend out just fine. Okay, so that is what I do for my eyeliner. And then I'm going to brush out any product that I might have on my eyelashes, because I also use an eyelash serum. I use a Babe Lash eyelash serum, and I will say it's made a huge difference in my eyelashes. Out of all my sisters, I have the least and the shortest, but with that lash serum, like, they have grown ridiculously. I do use this Lash Paradise primer by L'Oreal, and I used to use the mascara as well, but I recently ran out of it. So I'm going to put enough primer that it coats my lashes, but not anything to where it's like drowning in it, because then one, it's going to take too long to dry, and then two, it kind of just looks a little bit clumpy. But this, I cannot do my mascara without this primer anymore, and I've been doing that for like the last 3 years. So it's drying, but it's not completely dry, and that's exactly where I want it. And I've been using this Stella Huge Extreme Lash Mascara, and it kind of reminds me of a L'Oreal brush. Like L'Oreal, I don't think they've gone wrong with any mascara that they've ever had. They used to have this like butterfly effect one, and they have like a different version of it now, but the one that they had before was my all-time favorite, and they discontinued it, which like really sucks. But all of the mascaras are honestly really good. Their Lash Paradise is still my favorite, but for now I'm using this one until I buy myself a new one because it works just as good. I will say though that this one is a little bit more like of a wet mascara, so it takes longer to dry and get like the look that you're trying to achieve, because if you do too much too soon, it's gonna look clumpy. Okay, and if you get any on your eyelids, oh, I don't know what she's doing. If you get any on your eyelids, just get a Q-tip or a spoolie and it'll brush right off. And then if you accidentally take off your makeup, just blend out with bronzer again. For my bottom lashes, I sometimes use that, but I also use this lengthening one. It's by Item. It's called Lash Smack. And this is what the brush looks like. Do one more coat. Hopefully I don't ruin it with this. Okay. And honestly, I feel like I'm having a really good lash and brow day. Like, I already tried filming this video once and my eyebrows were a mess and my eyelashes were so clumpy, so thank you, Jesus. Okay, so I'm just going to clean off whatever excess got on my eyelid. And since it's like just a little bit dry, the Q-tip will work just fine. Do not wet it, because if you wet it, then you're just gonna smudge everything and it's going to mess it up. Alrighty, as far as for my lips, I do always use, so I use this lip mask today. It actually works really nicely. But first, I take off whatever excess makeup got on my lips. I think right now I'm just going to use Aquaphor to just like moisturize them a little bit. I woke up with chapped lips, like not even chap, but like I felt like it kind of just split down the middle here and it hurt. So we're going in with powerful stuff today. I have like a million different kinds of chapsticks too, you guys. I have like a chapstick addiction, so I'll always be using something different. And I do have a lip scrub because I hate my lips looking flaky or crusty or anything like that, but I don't feel like looking for it right now. And then I use, half the words are gone in here, but I use this like little, it's like a lipstick slash lip gloss. It's like this really subtle pink color. It looks more natural. So I personally love the glossy look. Like that goes best on me. Matte lipstick always makes my lips look a lot bigger, which I'm not mad about, but it just gets so messy sometimes, so I'm not a fan. I prefer glosses. I'm also gonna go in with this Neutrogena Moisture Smooth Color Stick, just because I was running out of color on the other one, and this one kind of matches. And I don't overline my eyebrows, I don't overline my lips. Just natural is best. I love, like I said, gloss, so I don't feel like I need this, but it makes my lips look really nice. If I don't go in with this lip gloss, it's the Serum Balm. I don't know. It does have a pink, it's not as pink as it looks here, like, it's really not. It blends to a really nice color. It's more oily. and I wasn't actually supposed to put some on. I just, whatever. But I do use this plumping lip gloss. It's Lawless Forget the Filler. And it just makes my lips look really nice. So I like using it because I love, love, love gloss. And I don't know if this one actually plumps your lips. You know, normally you can also feel the tingling. I don't know if this one actually works, so is that it should. But it makes them look good enough, so I'm just gonna keep using it. And then I usually blend it out with my finger because that looks the most natural, but I'm going to do my hair really quickly and then I will show you what my makeup looks complete. Okay, I know I look crazy, okay? We're going to ignore this, but this is how I do my hair. I did forget to mention though, the setting spray that I do use, if you want something to literally last you forever, like this Urban Decay All-Nighter setting spray works amazing, but it is pricey. So I found this one at TJ Maxx actually, and it is this matte setting spray. I probably got this for like $6 to $10, somewhere around there. And I will say it does leave your makeup very matte, it lasts a very long time, and it smells really good. So those are two options for setting spray. But let me take my hair out of these rolls and then I will show you the end result. I'm not a pro at this stuff, okay? But I've been liking the way that my hair looks lately with these rollers. Dang, it always sounds like it's ripping out my hair. I know that it's not, but it literally sounds like it is and kind of breaks my heart every time. You never get the full look until you're fully ready. I think that was supposed to go that way. Alrighty, you guys, this is it for this video. If you guys have any questions for anything, please feel free to leave it down in the comments. I will do my best to leave everything in the description. I did my best to try to do a combination of like high-end versus drugstore. I want to say that like 90% of my products are drugstore. The only thing that were a little bit higher end was like my primers and just one of the foundations. But overall, like, I find myself at Target for all my makeup. It hasn't failed me yet. I've done it for years, and I don't really think that you need to spend $40 to $50 on foundation, especially because for me personally, I work from home. Like, the only ones who actually see me are my dog, my sister, and I don't know, the people at the grocery store. So I don't want to like spend hundreds of dollars on products that nobody's gonna see me in. It's just me. But overall, I try to keep it as simple as possible. I don't use a ton of different techniques, a ton of products. These are just really basic. You can find like 100% of this at Target. So if you guys have any questions, please feel free to let me know. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and I will see you guys all next week. Bye.